Hi everybody, I'm Mahin and this is your Saturday stretch for the daily belly dance quickies. Today we're going to do a deep hip and hamstring and IT band stretch. Now I'm going to tell you right off the bat that if you are flexibility, if you're just starting to kind of get yourself limbered up, this could be a really intense stretch for you and it may not be the right one for you. Other things will be more gentle and perhaps more approachable for you. But if you stretch on a pretty regular basis, then you want to go ahead and give this a try. But please make always sure that this is a deep stretch. It's a deep stretch and it's a static stretch. If you remember from the blog post last week, and again, if you are not a full DBQ subscriber by email, you probably didn't see that blog post. But if you are and you read the blog post, that this is a deep static stretch, so it needs to be done after your activity, after your dance class, after your run, after your practice, after something where you have been quite active and your muscles are warm and they're ready for this, they're receptive to it. This is not a warm-up stretch, and I can't repeat that enough. Okay, so that being said, all right, so we're going to be down on our bottoms here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to have one leg folded, and I'll tell you right off the bat, one leg is probably going to be way more flexible for you than the other. So I have my right leg folded in, I'm going to take my left leg, and I'm going to take this up into what I call a shin baby position. Very technical, huh? Okay, so I'm going to take my leg up here, and I'm going to take my arm, and I'm going to bring it under here. I'm going to hold underneath, and then I'm going to take this arm up here, and I'm going to hold on to my shin. Now, we never want to hold directly onto a joint, okay? You want to hold near the joint, above it, below it, but we don't hold directly on the joint. It's not safe to do. So that's why I have my arm around my knee and not holding my knee like this. So I'm supporting my knee, and also I'm supporting my ankle with the palm of my hand here. Now, when I take this and I hold this up, trying to bring my foot up so my shin is as parallel as I can get it to the floor, but that's pretty tough for me. All right, so and this is my better side. So I'm holding this up here and I'm trying to bring this into my body, and I'm also raising this up. As you raise this part up, you're going to feel more of that deep stretch way deep down into your hip and your piriformis and the small muscles that are all below your glutes. So here is the first part of the stretch. So here we're getting into the deep hip muscles. Now, of course, this is a static stretch. You're going to hold this a little bit. I'm going to try and consciously relax. This is a lot like pigeon pose, but instead of having your body weight laying down on top of this position for your leg to get the stretch, we're pulling up with our hands and our arms. So in some ways, this is a little less intense than pigeon pose right here. And now from here, I'm going to go ahead and take my foot here. I'm going to take my hands on both sides of my feet, my foot, and I'm going to go ahead and extend out. Okay? Now, if your hamstrings are tight, then you may only get to maybe here. If you are all able to get it all the way extended, and you can straighten that knee out fully, you'll feel the stretch all the way back to the attachments behind the knee. And if that's okay for you, and then you want to go ahead and pull back on the toes and get some calf stretch in there as well, you can totally do that. And again, we're going to hold this for a little bit. All right, now the last part of this, here we're stretching our hamstrings. And the last part we're going to go for is that IT band, which runs along the outside. Now to get that, I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to take it around, and remember I'm not grabbing on my ankle, I'm on the instep of my foot. I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to put it behind me, and I'm going to start to pull this across my body here, and to turn my body, kind of twist it. Now as I do that, I'm going to feel this all through here, okay? When an IT band gets tight, it can cause you all kinds of hip and knee issues. We did a blog post on that as well a couple of weeks back, so you can check on the blog for that. So here's a good stretch. So here we are. This is the IT band part of the stretch. Alrighty, I'm going to come in and bring it down. Okay, now I got to do the other side too. This is my tighter side personally. Alright, so I'm going to switch legs here. So I have my left leg down. I'm going to go get my shin baby up here. Alrighty, this is my tight hip. Okay, coming up. Make sure you're supporting the joint and not pulling on the joint. And breathe into those deep hip muscles and try and relax them. Pulling the thigh towards the body and pulling the knee or the shin up much towards parallel as you can to the floor. find your sweet spot there. You can also kind of rock your little shin baby right here. And that can kind of work out some of those, tighten up, unleave, kind of unkink some of those muscles in there and kind of get that joint moving a little bit with just a little bit of pulling going on. Remember, this is something for after your activity, okay? All right, so here we are here. Okay, so get to the hamstring. So hands on both sides of the sole of the foot and extend. If you want to, pull back on those toes. There's your hamstring stretch. And then we're going to go take it to the IT band. So I'm going to take the opposite hand. I'm going to go around to the instep of the foot. Other hand goes back. And I'm going to take it across. And get that IT band stretch right there. Okay. All right. So there's your stretch for today. Deep hip, hamstring, and IT band. And remember that this stretch is kind of challenging. So like I said, if you're kind of just starting to getting into some stretching into your routine and you're still very, very tight, take it really slow with these, or maybe stick with what you have for a little while. Because if you stretch and you push too far and you strain the muscle and you tear it a little to some degree, you really haven't made any progress. You've kind of taken a step backwards. So always be cautious in going forward. Listen to your body. The stretch should feel slightly uncomfortable at the point of where you want to hold a static stretch, but it shouldn't feel painful and it shouldn't feel like you're seizing up. Okay, so you back off a little bit. Always listen to your body about that. Okay, so I'm done lecturing you about your stretching for today. So have a really great week, and if you are not getting the other days of the Daily Bellydance Quickies, so you're not finding out about these blog posts, check the box down there and check it out. It is free, and then it will come right to your email box. And tour dates coming up, check the beginning of the video, or go ahead and check my schedule online. Definitely going to be in Las Vegas Bellydance Intensive first week in September. It's going to be a huge event. Definitely check it out if you're in the area. Have a wonderful week. Bye.